Okay, everyone, how are you? Good. Okay. First of all, it has to be a very open discussion. Okay, now, so I'm making it very clear. So don't hide anything from me. Okay, now just tell me whatever is the problem, then I'll tell you how to go about it. About me, my name is Kartik, sir. I teach audit and law at CA Inter and CA final levels. And I'm with Yashas Academy since the last 6 months now. And I'm originally a faculty from Mumbai. So I'm here to teach a CA Inter audit batch from Mumbai. So I thought I told Nilesh sir myself that let me take a session for the students, so to ensure that just any student, because he was telling me some issue, other students in the batch were also telling me by chance if some advice can be given. So I thought, why can't we invite all the students of Yashas Academy or the friends also to guide them? So all of you all had given this exam but did not clear. Is it true? Okay. So what are the scores that you got? How much can you tell the scores?
190. 130, 95, 190, 100, 150, 160, 190,
199.
144, 190, 167, 190.
190. Okay. Now, have you guys got any notebook or something? Please remove it. Okay, now I'm going to go in a very specific way. Okay, no, that will really help you. I'm not going to like motivate you and do all these things. I'll give you practical advices that you should follow. That will really help you to genuinely score better marks and clear definitely next time. Okay, and most of you all are very close to clearing, very close. Few things that if you do properly, you will clear. But never take another attempt lightly. Don't think, oh, I've been so close to 190. Next time definitely I'm clearing. Don't keep that kind of mindset. You still have to work equally hard. Okay, now you have to work equally hard. Okay, so everybody, please write what I'm trying to say. See, look here. The first thing that you guys need to do and honestly do is, see here. You have to identify your weakness areas. Identify your weakness areas. Okay. Now, what do I mean when I say weakness areas? Now this you also know, I also know very honestly that you must have left some areas maybe in option. For example, some chapters were not done as well as what they should have been. Okay. So first area will be anything that you left in option while studying for this attempt. Whatever you left in option, I'll tell you regarding that. That can be a whole chapter. That can be a concept. That can be in accounts maybe 2 or 3 questions that you left in option. Or you thought, okay, this I'll do later, but later you will not get time only. It can be those areas. So first write their options, whatever you left in options. Okay. Second thing, anything that you find difficult in terms of concept, you should accept it. Okay, this is what I find difficult, so that you should accept it. Second. And third, anything that is you feel that is very lengthy, you feel it is very, oh my god, this doesn't get over only, that you feel it is very lengthy, so write that you feel it is very lengthy. These 3 areas are called your weakness areas. You are currently losing marks because of any of these 3 reasons and not because of anything else. So if you have not scored 200, no, the fact that you have not reached 260, 270, 280 or even 300 marks, even though you may be having the potential, it is only because of these 3 factors. So the first thing that you have to clear is to recover from these parts. Now, how do you do that? You have to go subject wise. Subject wise means what? You have to first write here, after going home, you have to first write here accounting. First subject of accounting. Now, accounting, what is the first chapter in your textbook? In Yashas Academy textbook, what is the first chapter called?
theoretical framework.
Theoretical framework. So I'm writing TF. Let's say theoretical framework. How many questions are there?
What's the theory of?
Fully theory. Suppose in theory, no, there is some concept that you find it difficult to understand. Suppose it is a simple, I know it is a simple area, but suppose if you find some some area which you are not able to understand, no, that concept should be written here. So that concept name should come here. So there is one more concept. Put a comma, write one more concept name like that. What is the second chapter? Tell me a chapter in which questions are there. Accounting process. But accounting process is also theoretical, you know.
Journal, ledger, balance.
Correct. Subsidiary books, cash book, and everything. Got it. But tell me a chapter in which there are question and answers there. Questions which are there. Depreciation. Let me do depreciation. How many questions are there in Yes's Academy book?
25.
25 to 30 questions. We'll take 30 for the time being. Now, when you go through a depreciation chapter, no, now you have to do this task today, okay? No, when you look at a depreciation chapter and when you go through it, no, you have to go question wise. And remember, detailing is the most important. Detailing, okay? No, take my word. Detailing means what? When you look at question number 1, question number 2, question number 3, just ask yourself whether I find this comfortable or not. And that only you will feel. And it is different for different student. He might find the end of depreciation chapter difficult. He might find the middle area difficult. Some other person might find the starting area difficult, but the ending area finds easy. It depends on what you feel at that time. Maybe when the lecture was taken, you may have been absent. Maybe your focus was not there. Maybe you didn't bother to do that. So what I'm trying to say is, it is different for everyone. For example, if I'm opening the accounts book, I'm going through a depreciation chapter, and I personally feel, Kartik sir, I feel that question number 17 is a little difficult. I feel question number, let's say 29 is difficult. This is what I feel. So I'll write here question number 17 and 29 is my weakness area. Why? Because I find it difficult. So it means what? If ICI asks in the current situation, if they ask question number 17 in the exam, or 29 in the exam, or a similar question in the exam, if they ask no, then I'm going to lose my marks. So you write that here, 17 and 29, you write it here. One more chapter. Tell me any other chapter. BRS. You said no, BRS. How many questions are there in BRS? 15. So suppose if I find question number 13 difficult, suppose if I find question number 15 difficult. So I'll write 13 and 15 here. Now, if you find more questions difficult, no, then be more open to yourself and write more areas here. But this is a task that you will have to do in your own presence, where you are doing, this is basically called as self-introspection. Self-introspection is very important. After failure, no, you have to do self-introspection. Where did I go wrong? Once you answer that question, no, then you will clear the next exam for sure. In any CA exam, that is your foundation, it may be inter, it may be final. Okay, no? So you understand here, you have to now go chapter wise in each chapter, right? Take a full scape paper, write the chapter down. There is a boy who came, I think from your batch only. Do you know Tabrik? Do you know Tabrik? Okay, so he had come yesterday just to meet, and he did the same thing. You can come here and see. Accounting, chapter number 1 to 14, he sent me entire list of weakness areas properly. 1, this should be done. 2, this should be done. 3, this should be done. 4, this should be done. And properly went, then he did for maths, then he did for eco, BCR, BCK, everything. And his weakness areas are ready. Then he asked me, sir, in how many days should I cover? So looking at those areas, I told him you have to cover this in 13 days. So what basically you have to do is you have to go subject wise, in depth, and not ask yourself in the mind. Just you have to open the book and see. Okay, you cannot think in depreciation what do I find difficult. Your brain will never tell you whatever is your weakness area. Your brain always thinks about whatever good you know. It will never tell you, oh, this you don't know. So what you have to do is you have to open the book and see, this question do I find difficult, this question do I find difficult. That question wise you have to go. It is a time-taking process. But what it will do is, it will give you an excellent list of the areas that you find difficult in accounting, the areas that you find difficult in law, area in economics, area in maths, area in logical reasoning, area in stats, in all subjects. So it will show you the mirror that see these areas are difficult for you. I'll tell you one thing. Currently, you are losing marks because of these areas. Okay. Suppose if, for example, total, if you count, for example, this is one element, this is one element, this is one element, one element, one element, one element. Total like that, around you write around 180 elements you find across CA foundation portion. So then you have to ask yourself, in one day, how many elements can I cover? In one day, how many elements can I cover? Generally, what I've seen is students are able to cover 20 elements in a day. Generally, what I have seen in my experience. So if it is 180 elements, you should tell yourself, okay, I'm going to give myself 9 days. 180 divided by 20 elements. 20 elements with 20 questions you have to solve in a day. Not much, but these 20 questions are those which you find difficult. So even though on paper it is 20, but you know it is going to take time, because first you have to again revisit the concept, understand the concept, see what you were missing, why you find it difficult, which concept you do not understand. Maybe call a friend, ask a friend, maybe come to class, ask a professor. You have to do all these things to ensure that that concept is then clear. But you have to keep a timeline for yourself. Okay, 180 elements are there. So divided by 20 you have to do, then 9 days I have to cover this matter. In 9 days it should be done. So straight 9 days from, if you do it today after going home, if you do this task today, it will take you 3-4 hours, good 3-4 hours to analyze it properly. If you do it today, no, by tonight, you should have the entire list with you. And then you can take from him, you can connect with to me on Telegram or something, send it to me. Then or you can even you can go on, making it very easy for you. You can just divide it by 20 and just see how many days in which you have to complete it. From tomorrow onwards, for the next whatever days are required, suppose if you have 300 elements. 300 divided by 20, 15 days. You have to give 15 days. That's it. So if 15 days has to be given, then from tomorrow onward, 15 days, you are only doing one thing and one thing only. That is covering your weakness areas. Now imagine the situation. Suppose there is a subject called accounts. In accounts, there are some areas which are your strengths. There are some areas which are your weaknesses. What I am doing basically is, suppose in your strengths, there are about, let's say, in total 12 chapters overall. And weakness, suppose there are 4 chapters. What I am doing during these 9 days, 15 days is convert your weakness into strength. Basically, I'm doing this for you. So when your weakness is getting converted into strength by investing time and effort and ensuring that, okay, this time I need to get it right, because now there must be a fire burning, inside, because if your friends have cleared and you're not cleared, there is a competitive thing that goes inside in all CAs. It happened with me also, with you all also. And you will feel, oh my God, how did I not clear? These guys have gone ahead in inter. I'm still in foundation. That must be happening. So these weakness areas is the best time to cover it. Best time. You will never get a better time. And if you postpone it, then what happens is that current mood that is there in you, that gets died down. So what you have to do is, current when the iron is hot, hit it. So that is why convert this weakness area into strengths and ensure that all the 16 chapters, suppose there are 16 chapters in account, then all the 16 chapters are converted to your strength. If you do this for every subject, then now you only tell me there is no reason why you will not clear, especially when so many students are just on the brink of 190, 200. Understanding? Second thing, I myself got 194 times in CA final. Okay, so I understand what you're going through. So I'm telling you from what I did. And then later on, after I worked on the weakness and strength, when I self-analyzed and all these things, I scored 6 out of 8 subjects. I scored 60 plus marks in CA final. One of the attempts, my group 2 marks were 13 marks more than all India rank 1's marks of group 2. And I don't credit myself for that. I credit the process for that. I'm just telling you that do this process, it will help you. That is the first area, that is called weakness areas. Okay, weakness areas. Now, if you want to write in your short word what you need to do, you can just write it down. Just in simple words, so that you have to do this task at home. Just write the weakness areas you have to do. Weakness areas you have to do. This is the first thing you need to do. Okay, very, very important. Clear? Second thing, you have to work on your discipline. Any student who fails, there is a sense of discipline that is lacking. Discipline means I'm not asking you to get up in the morning, run for 5 kilometers like army training, come back home, not all those things. When I say discipline means your general routine should be set. Routine is very, very important. Routine helps your brain and there is something called as in everybody's body, your body, my body, everybody's body, there is something called as circadian cycle. Google it later, whenever you get time. Circadian cycle makes your brain alert during some times and makes your brain dull at some times. When your brain is alert, you should use it for your productive work. For example, when you get up in the morning, it is the best time to take up any new challenge, because your brain is fresh, you have just slept, your brain is fresh. When you are awake, it is easy to take up any good challenge whatever you want to. For example, there is a tough area that you want to solve, take it up in the morning. After an area you find it boring, do the area later on, after this 7, 8 days, 9 days of weakness areas over, do the areas that you find easy whenever you're lazy. Easy when lazy. Remember this, easy when lazy. So whenever you're lazy, when afternoon, nothing goes in your mind, at that time, don't take up a very important chapter or a very tough chapter that you feel is a very tough chapter. Don't take it that up. Why? Because if you take that up, you are bound to give it up very soon. Why? Because your brain is not ready for the challenge. You have got up early in the morning, you have studied. Now you're taking up the most difficult chapter when your brain is dull. At that time, take up something that you love. Logical reasoning, very easy to take it that. If you are a math student, if the ratio, proportion, integers, logarithm, all these are simple chapters, take that up. Accounts, if you like some chapters which are very, very simple. For final accounts, if you like, NPO, if you like, bills of exchange, if you like, all these 12 standard connected chapters, if you like, do those in the afternoon, which don't require that much brain load. But the brain load areas, you should take it up in the morning. And a routine is very important. Very, very important. Get into a routine, and it will be difficult to set. But once it is set, you will find out things are going in a smoother way. Routine means what? Getting up time should be fixed, studying slot time should be fixed, eating time should be fixed, sleeping time should be fixed. These 4 things should be fixed. That is your routine, basically. I'm not asking you that every 10 minutes you should count, oh, this I should have done 10 minutes back. Not that much, but overall a routine should be set. Easy, clear. Now, any queries that you are having, so I can solve. Otherwise, I'll only talk and then your queries are not solved. Tell me. What difficulty you faced? And you can be very open with me. He has been in my class, he knows how I am. Okay, then.
So, apps like How to solve that? Figure out which I would like to
This I get in Mumbai also. The students say the maths is a difficult problem for me. Maths, what you have to do is you have to focus on the simple chapters and ensure you are the master of that. So there are some chapters that are very like ratio proportion. What is there in that? There's nothing. So that you will find very easy. What you'll find difficult, I'll tell you. You'll find derivative difficult, integration difficult. True or wrong? So that areas, no, you keep it at the end. And at the end, no, how much ever you can do, you do. But don't invest, for example, I'll tell you very honestly, derivative integration, 40 marks total maths is there. Derivative integration comes for 3 marks in the exam. Max 3 marks it will come. For 3 marks, if you spend 3 days and just solve question, no, doesn't make sense actually. So what you have to do is you have to be very practical. You have to ask yourself, okay, this chapter, I have tried my best. Do I know it? The answer is no. If the answer is no, go for the simple area of the chapter and finish it off. There's a good chance that out of the 3 questions of derivative integration that will be asked no, or derivatives that will be asked no, one will be very easy. The other 2 might be a little tricky. That one which is easy, no, you will get that 1 mark, and the other 2, you happily give it away, let it go. But for that, you will not waste 2 days, and 2 days will be invested in an area which you can focus better. And tell yourself, maths is only there in foundation. Inter, there is no maths. Final, there is no maths. So derivative, integration, trigonometry and all. Trigonometry is not there in CA foundation, but still all these things will not come in later. Later, the mathematical areas which is there in CA Inter and CA Final is fun area. It is financial management, costing and all these things, which are fun. Which are basically how you do business and everything. It is at that level. Not your formula based, this, that, and all these things are not there. So just tell yourself that no, I have to ensure that I'm taking care of maths in a very logical way and take it up in a logical way.
So main issue was used to be that to understand and we didn't have exams and there was no writing practice, and again it was online, and even the classes of we were online. So I'm not ready to adapt to the online environment. So how, like, will there be crash course offline?
I'm not aware of that. You have to ask Nilesh sir. I'm a faculty. You have to speak to Nilesh sir. He'll be able to tell you whether the crash course is there, revision batch is there. You can speak to him. And he'll be very honest and he'll tell you whatever is openly is there, he'll tell you, definitely.
Students are encouraged to have online.
Okay. That is okay. See, in any case, if it is online or offline, the thing that you have to do from your end doesn't stop. You have to understand when planning with me. See, I'll tell you something. And this, if you understand, the quicker you understand is better, because then you will come to know the reality of the situation. What is today's date? Today is 13th of Feb. So Feb has 28 days. 28 minus 13 will give you 15. So 15 is there in Feb. 15 days are pending in Feb. March has 31. April has 31. April has 30. May will have, you will get around the exam starting, I think, from 23rd May. Correct? 23rd May, I think. So 5 days before that, till 15th, you be free for the first examination. But from 15th, I'm giving you free. Count the number of days. How many are the number of days? Just calculate. 91. Your game is entirely of 91 days. You have to understand that. Now I'll give you a simple calculation. Look here, see. How many subjects you have? Paper 1, accounts. Accounts is there. So accounts is 1. Second is what? Law and BCR. So you have law and BCR. Both take it as separate subject. Law is a separate subject. BCR, take it as a separate subject. Next you have maths, logical reasoning, stats. So maths different, logical reasoning is different, and stats is different. So I'm taking these as 3. And then at the end you have eco BCK. Correct? So eco is here and BCK is here. So that gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have to simply do 91 days I have divided by 8 subjects. That gives you around 1.3, around 11.3 days. Around 11.3 days. Now out of this, no, take out 1.3 days, because take it as buffer. Someday you have to go out, run well. Something else turns up, something is there. So that way take only 10 days per subject that you have with you. 10 days per subject is your game. Now 10 days per subject, now you'll understand, if you are doing logical reasoning, now you don't need 10 days per subject. You need lesser than that, because logical reasoning is small. Similarly, this is logical reasoning is here. Similarly, BCK also is not that big. So you can easily manage it in less than 10 days also. So what you can do is, you can smartly transfer those days to subjects like law, accounts, which require more days. Okay, now that you have to do. How much ever days you plan here. Example, suppose if this your average is 10 here, and you reduce 2 days from logical reasoning, add 2 days to accounts, you reduce 2 days from BCK, add 2 days to law, all these things you do. So at the net effect is how many days? 10 days per subject you come to. Okay, now? Now this you have to divide into 3 revisions. 3 revisions you have to do. So a revision format can be in like this, see, 5, 3 and 2. So first revision will take 5 days, second revision will take 3 days, third revision will take only 2 days. After every revision, no, this 5, no, you have to divide into 2 parts. It is 4.5 and 0.5. Similarly, it is 2.5 and 0.5. I'll tell you what is that 0.5. 1.5 and 0.5. After every 4.5 days that you give to the subject, no, you have studied the subject. After that, no, write a test here. Take an ICI mock test, go to the website, download a mock test, write a test. Again, 2.5 days you have studied. Again, 0.5 days you write a test. Again, 1.5 days you have studied. 0.5 days you write a test. If you write 3 test papers, covered all the weakness areas if you have done, then you are in a better position. Suppose now this 91 days will not be 91 days, by the way. It will be lower than that, because suppose if 11 days are going in that, covering the weakness areas now, whatever you will do, then it will be 80 minus 80 divided by 8, that is 10 days per subject. Take minus 1 day as buffer, so 9 days per subject. So 9 days you have to divide, and then you have to study in that way. But after every revision, you have to write a test. Every revision, you have to write a test. Very, very important. And while writing the test, no, don't be, no, many, I'll tell you one more block of mind that you will be having. Ever in your CA learning, no, if this comes into your mind, oh, why should I write the test here? Instead, in the half day, I can cover one more chapter. So why should I write the test? It is a wrong thought process to go with. Whenever you go to the exam, no, you need practice. You need practice. If you don't practice, the situation like you will happen. Where in the exam, you feel everything is new. You don't understand what is happening. So that is why you have to ask yourself that like how cricketers go for playing the match. Before that, they do net practice. And then they go to the match. They don't really go to the match. They'll get hit by the ball and they'll go to the hospital. So you need to have net practice. That is exactly what you're getting trained for. You need to go through an exam situation. Exam kind of questions you have to face. In that situation, suppose if you're writing a mock test paper, you're not understanding how to answer it. At that time, you'll be analyzing. Oh, this I don't know. So what should I do? Okay, let me remember whatever I know till now and let me just at least write the answer, complete the paper. All this you will develop only when you write tests. But if you directly go to the exam, no, and that is not the way you should prepare for CA exams. Because it's a high level exam, even you know, even I know. Easy to understand. So you have to do this. If you're having this thing, sir, I'm not getting used to the new thing. Whether sir conducts class online or offline, this preparation that you can do. No, this is your home. This is what you have to write at home. And you have to do at home. Irrespective of whether lectures are being conducted or not conducted. Depends on that. Understanding? Any question? Tell me very openly. Any questions? No? I'm not hearing. Okay, got it. You have to distinguish very clearly between whether you're forgetting concepts or whether you're forgetting the the answer, whether you're memorizing is lacking or a concept is lacking. But when are you writing? Immediately or after some time? Then you will not be able to remember in any case. It is impossible. So for example, I'll tell you one thing. Suppose if you learn something today, after 5 days, you can sit. Suppose if you're learning something today, after 5 days, if I tell you to write, you will not be able to write. You will not be able to write. Maybe you'll remember some things, you will not be able to write. I'll tell you why. Because your brain cells work in this way. See, if there's your brain cell, no, when you learn in the class, no, there is a coating like this that the professor puts on your head. When you revise it at home, no, there is this coating that you put on your brain like this, so it becomes more sharper. That thing you are able to remember in much more clearer manner. When you revise it one more time, no, this becomes a very, very distinct image. It becomes like this. The more darker it gets, it's better for you. It means you are able to easily remember it. But what happens as the days goes by, it's about 2 days, 3 days if you do know, your brain, brain cell, no, it tries to, it leaves unnecessary matters, it leaves out. That is why after 4 or 5 days, you'll be like, yeah, I had done that, but I don't remember the exact answer, I don't remember. That will happen with everyone, not with you. It happens with everyone. The only solution to that is you study a concept, you apply fantastic memorizing techniques, learn it, and after that, whenever you are, revising later, no, you have to repeat the same process. You have to repeat the same process. And in any case, the confidence giving part is you will get 1 day before the exam to revise in any case. So you are wondering, sir, before the exam, what about it? But before 1 day before the exam, you are able to revise it, no? You are getting a holiday in the middle, right? Also, because I'm on this point, I'll tell you one more thing. See, your entire game, no, is of 28 hours. But why 28 hours? Suppose if you write the first paper, that day you come home, What time will you be reaching home? Around 6 o'clock? 6 o'clock will be reaching home. What is your paper timing? 2 to 5, right? Correct. So you will come home by 6 o'clock. That day, no, you will be getting around 6 hours to study. 6 hours. Maybe 6 to 12. Or if you sleep for an hour, then 7 to 1, depending on your slot. Next day, you will be getting 16 hours to study. 16 hours means around 6.5 hours, 7 hours of sleep. 1 hour for bathing, your food and everything. It will take some time. So 16 hours, I'm taking as study time. Then on the main paper day, you will get again 6 hours to study, because morning if you get up at 6, you will study till 12. Slightly late you are getting up, you can study till 1, because you have to go to the exam hall by 2 only. 1:45 to reach. So your game is entirely of 28 hours. Now suppose if you are revising now, and if it is taking around 90 hours to study a subject, suppose. If you are thinking that is 90 hours, no, I am going to then study 28 hours on the exam day, it will be done. It will not be done. That is why what we do is, whenever you are studying here for 90 hours, this is your first reading. First reading is taking you around 90 hours. And that reading should be very, very strong. You should mark everything properly, learn it in a very specific way, amazing way. You have to learn with memorizing techniques, excellent memorizing techniques that we use. And you have to ensure that your reading is done very nicely, so that you have understood all the concept. If you have any doubt, you should ask the professor immediately in the class. After 90 hours, no, when you do your first revision here, doing the revision, no, it should not take you 90 hours. It should take you lesser time, because you have already put in the hard work. The notes are marked, memorizing techniques you have in mind. So it should take you around 65 hours here. Next time when you do your second revision, no, now this is the second time you're doing it. First reading, first revision, second revision. So overall third time. When you're doing it for the third time, no, this should take around 40 hours to do. Only then on the exam day, you'll be able to cover within 28 hours. So a student to understand this part properly, will be able to cover every CA exam, not even foundation, every CA exam. You will be able to cover. Understanding? So this revision becomes important, That is why in this diagram I told you, you have to divide into 3 parts, 1, 2 and 3. Why? Because you have to bring the number of days down from, number of hours from 90 to 65, 65 to 40, 40 to 28. If a subject like accounts, suppose if you're taking around 140 hours to study for the first time, you're solving all the sums with your hand and everything you're doing, then you'll bring it down to 100, then you'll bring it down to around 50, then you'll bring it down to 28. Here some questions you will just go through, oh this I know, this I know, this I know. And some important question, 1 or 2 questions you will solve. Here, you'll go through a few questions, but you'll solve a lot of questions. Here, you may be solving all the questions with your hand. And we're taking more time. So like that. So to take care of this part. Also what I think, I know it will be a little bit on the slightly negative side. But failure early in the exam, CA exams, is good, don't worry. It's okay. Sometime or the other, 90% of the CA students face this situation. It is okay. What you have to do is you have to improve. That is the only thing that CA teaches you. You have to improve. Now, many of you all must have taken it in your ego. You would have reduced. You would have got into a different cycle. You would have said, no, I have to study now. You would have got in that mode because of failure. Failure teaches you a lot of things than success. So students who got straight success, or students who got success in a very lucky manner, some or the other time bad luck will catch up with them. So don't worry. So, and you are not worried about their life. You are worried about your life. So if you have not cleared in 190s, 180s, if your score is there, okay, you'll have your this thing, why it happened to me and all these things. Once that is over, then tell yourself, okay, now I have to focus on the studies, I have to get it back. And it will teach you to fight back. Every time in future also in life, whenever you face a bad situation, CA foundation day, you will remember, oh, I had failed, what did I do? I fought back and I cleared. Same thing will happen here. In life also, so anytime when you are bogged down or some situation comes when it is bad, you'll tell, oh, what is my normal nature? My normal nature is whenever something goes against me, I'm fighting it back and I'm winning the situation. That will become your nature. So don't worry about failure. It is, of course you need to improve, but it is okay. Don't take it in a very negative way. And don't compare. I know it's very easy to say, some of your best friend must have cleared, you must have not cleared. And you will feel in your mind how he cleared. Few concepts I only taught him. Like that. So you have to ensure, you have to tell yourself, it's okay. It's okay. Next exam I'll clear. But for next exam to clear, you have to apply certain procedures in place. First, that weakness area you should create. Second is you have to create a routine. Start getting up at the time. And I personally prefer students getting up early in the morning. The earlier you get up, the better it is. Because you're genuinely fresh. There is no commotion, nothing. Sleep early, get up early. Very, very important. If you are sleeping late and especially because of phone, how many of you all are here addicted to the phone and you're just simply doing random scrolling? Honestly admit.
Because exam, I guess, 5 to 6 hours.
See, so you're addicted to it in one way. You have to break the addiction. Now, addiction can be broken by your own willpower only. You tell yourself, no, I'm not going to use this phone. Or use a phone or give it to your parents or any family member who is there who can control your phone. And then stop using the phone. The phone is nothing. The phone is really, it is just in our mind that we need the phone, we need the phone, nothing. 2 days also, if you keep the phone as anyone, then nothing, there's nothing going to change in the world, nothing will happen. In fact, you will have peace of mind. There's nothing. So give your phone to someone, just tell them whenever I ask, just give it to me for 15 minutes, I can give it back. 4 times in a day, if you use a phone for 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, enough to check your messages, to message someone on Instagram, to check all your posts and everything, to watch one small 5 to 10 minutes video on YouTube, something like that, and just get entertained, again give it back. That 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour is enough entertainment time. But if you're having the phone like your girlfriend next to you, then you're gone. Because then you're always scrolling. Like Instagram, you'll be scrolling continuously. That should not be the case. Sometimes happens, mindless scrolling it is called. You are just doing this. Whatever, suppose you are just doing this. You don't know what is happening. You are just simply reading it, okay. You're going, and then you realize after 1 or 2 hours, oh, what was I doing? That should not happen. 4 hours if you spend on that, you would have cleared it. Understanding? That is a very important thing.
Max exam, like 4 max now, and 1 day on 3 hours.
The priority was not set, no. Priority was not my maths exam then.
How
Switch it off. Switch it off. Nothing happens. Phone switch it off. There's nothing. Switch it off. Addiction should be broken. If you are addicted, you should be broken as early as possible. Does any of you have gaming addiction? No. Gaming addiction is the worst, because then that really pulls you. You play one game, like, okay, let's go for one more. Then 2-3 hours where it goes, you don't understand. Any other query? Tell me.
So we take crash course.
Depends on how concrete your portion is. Suppose your weakness area is too much. You feel, oh, too many concepts I need to cover again. Then take crash course. If you think, no, it's okay, I can manage it myself, then don't take crash course. It depends on your own analysis of the situation. But what is crash course? Crash course. They are just going to help you, revise that concept again. So if you think revision is required, then do it. Otherwise, don't do it. It's completely your choice. First, make that weakness area list. That will tell you a real idea. If suppose 10 concepts are like that complete concepts you don't know only, complete chapter you don't know only, then you will have to take the crash course, because if you don't know the chapter, how will you write? How will you prepare further? But suppose if in a chapter you know the chapter, but 1 or 2 questions you don't know, 2 or 3 questions you find difficult, or 2 or 3 questions left in option, then you don't need crash course, because you don't have to work on those questions, not the concept. Understanding? You're telling something.
Sir, what type of concept when revising, what are the concepts cover first and what should be for?
While revising now, you should always go from whichever concept you're studying, you should always go now from difficult to easy. Here also difficult to easy. Here also difficult to easy. On the exam day, you have to go easy to difficult. On the exam day. Here it is a challenge, so you have to go from difficult to easy. Whatever you find difficult, you cover. Otherwise, what will happen here? You will spend time doing easy areas. For difficult, you don't have time only then later. And difficult again, you are hurrying up, not doing it properly. So here you go from difficult to easy. What do you find difficult? Go from difficult to easy regarding each and every subject. Here also go to difficult to easy. Here also go difficult to easy. But on the exam day, you need confidence. You have to build confidence. So here you have to go easy to difficult. Whichever you find easy, complete that. Confidence increases, and it gives you more strength to deal with the more difficult areas. And that is what you need on the exam day. You want to go to the exam hall with great confidence. That is what you want. If you start with difficult, first of all, it will consume more time. If it consumes more time, then you have less time to cover the easy areas. Suddenly you have less time to cover easy areas. So even the easy part becomes difficult on the exam day. So that is why on the exam day, go from easy to difficult. Whatever you know well to whatever you don't know that well, go in that range. But if you're doing that weakness area analysis, as I told you, if you're doing that now, then none of the area will be difficult for you, because all of them are your strengths now. Understanding?
How to manage time, like maths and economics? We have only 120 minutes for 100 questions.
Practice now. That test which I told you, you have to write tests. That will only tell you how to manage the time. Nothing else. I cannot give you a syrup, drink this, people will get over. So you have to write there, you have to go through the hard slog, you have to do this, what I told you here, this 0.5 days, very, very important here. 0.5 days, very, very important here. In that, when you write the test, you'll be okay. 3 tests is okay. If you write 3 tests, no, you're good to go for safe one, easily clear. Because 3 tests will give you enough light about what kind of paper they can ask. If a tough question is there, how to deal with it. If a question is there, if you find it tough, how to skip and go to the next question. And at the end, how to come back to the difficult question and then try to solve it like that. So all this will come to know when you do test practice. You're facing the situation, no, like that. Understanding? Can you have any query? Tell me more queries.
On the exact example, when I repeat the question paper, I read very rapidly. Almost 20 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, I get like the accountant law will get 15 minutes for the paper, so I want it. On math and economics,
You'll get nervous. Nervousness comes from lack of preparation. If you are prepared, you will not be nervous. So you are being fearful because you know that there is some mistake that you have done in terms of preparation. You know that, okay, this area I have not done properly. So I am hoping that, oh God, please, this question should not come in the exam. That is what is creating the fear. Once you cover all the areas properly, once you work on the basics properly, once you work on the weakness areas properly, that fear will automatically reduce because now you are going to the exam guilt-free. See, always understand, ICI takes advantage of your mind. When you are underprepared, no, you become underconfident, and the paper is relatively of a tougher level. Tougher means not very tough, not very easy. It is of an average tough level. So if it is of that level, no, then what happens is, whenever you find an easy question, also you will find it tough. Why? Because your brain is telling you, oh, you are not studied. You may not have studied. You are not studied the full portion. How will you clear? How will you clear? How will you clear? That creates a panic inside you. How will I clear? How will I clear? Like that. So what you have to do is you have to work on the weakness areas. Ensure that it is converting into your strengths. That will give you confidence, and confidence will help you deal with nervousness. You have to do that. Plus, nervousness, one more reason can be lack of sleep before the exam. So if you have slept less before the exam, there's a big chance that you can be nervous. Because lack of sleep leads to panic situation inside you. So sleep properly and then go. Sleep means 6.5 hours, 7 hours sleep for a CA student is paradise. Understand? In Mumbai, I had a student who had panic attack. She used to shiver while writing the paper. Like that. So she had that situation. So we had to improve. We had to take, first I had to take a 5 marks test for her, then 7 marks test for her, 11 marks test for her, 15 marks test for her, 20 marks test for her. Like that we took 18 tests up to 100 marks to get over her, that panic situation. And then she cleared CA final exam. She was CA final student. Like that. So this situation happens, but you have to prepare yourself for that situation.
Tell about that. Writing for 100 marks.
See, I'll tell you one thing. A good point that you raised. See, I'll tell you. You have 3 hours with you, 100 marks you are attempting. You should sit for 3 hours and you should attempt 100 marks. These 2 things you have to do. 2 simple things you have to do, and you have to not come out in the middle. 2.5 hour paper is over, oh, I'm leaving. No, there are many things to do. Underline the keywords if you are writing theory paper. Ensure that things are written properly. If you can add some more points, add that. But never leave the examination before 3 hours. If it is a case of those 3 hour papers, never leave the examination before the time. Never. And never leave anything in option. If you are attempting 80 marks, 100 marks, sorry, 100 marks. If you are attempting 80 marks here, then and you're coming back, then it means you have donated 20 marks and you have come. It means you have 0 out of 20 plus you have whatever they give out of 80. This is what the situation is. It's a very sad situation because what is this telling you? What is this telling you? This is telling you that you have simply given 20 marks as donation. Okay, don't give me marks. You sit there, you have attended classes and all. You must be knowing something about that matter, no? You write and come. And don't have the guilt. Oh, you know, if I fake an answer, what will happen and all. Don't worry about all those things. You write an answer the way you know and you write and come. There's a big chance that because you've attended classes, you have discussed with the faculty, you have listened to the faculties properly, you must have asked queries and all also. All these things you must have done. If you have done all these things, no, you will be 90% writing something that is proper only. May not be the exact answer, but proper only. It is possible that out of 20, you will score maybe 6 marks out of 20, but still a 6, you want the 6 marks, no. Students have scored 190, they'll know 6 was needed, no. So never leave a paper and come back. Never leave a paper, like never leave before 3 hours first of all, and never leave any marks and come. And that's why I'm telling you, you should write tests here. You should write these tests here in this 0.5, 0.5, you write a test. I'll tell you about time management. You will not leave a single question and you will come. So I will tell you about that. That you need to do, 100%. Understanding? Try more queries. Only this much, that's it. Okay, don't take foundation result in negative way. I know it is very easy to say from my side, you are facing it, I'm just saying it. Take it in a way of how do I improve? Get into a routine. And you must have got some call yesterday, must have heard, your parent must have received some call, oh your son has not cleared, oh your daughter has not cleared, all these things they must have received. That must have hurt you because it's your parents and they are getting the call and they are facing an embarrassment because of you. So you must have felt that thing inside. Convert that into a routine, convert that into a, I'll not say revenge, but I want to show this. I want to ensure that I clear with flying marks properly, I clear. And put a target in your at your place. And this is very important, target setting. Take a piece of paper at home. Divide a piece of paper into 4 parts. Write here accounts. Write here law and BCR. Write here maths, logical reasoning stats. And finally write here your eco and BCK. And write your target that you want to achieve. Whatever you want to achieve. What is your name? Nishchal. If Nishchal studies to the best of his capacity, how much will he achieve? You have to ask yourself. You have to ask yourself, if I study to the best of my ability, how much will I score? So Nishchal says, if Nishchal studies to the best of his capacity, best performance if he gives in all these months, and he studies well, he'll be able to score, let's say, 82 marks in account. So write 82. If he thinks he can score in law BCR, he can score 78. So write 78. Whatever number comes to your mind. If math logical reasoning stat, if you feel that you can score, let's say around 75, then write 75. Eco BCK, if you feel you can score 90, then write 90. But write the score. And this score, wherever you study, let's stick it. This is a personal area. Wherever you study at your place, you must be having a table, you must be having a desk, and you're facing a wall or something, or whichever wall is in front, stick it there. And you have to, and this, just stick it there. In your subconscious level, this will go inside your mind. This I did in CA final. In my CA final exam, I had done this. So in my CA final exam, there were 4 papers which were there. I had done the score randomly. I had done, okay, if Kartik Iyer studies to his best of his ability, how much will he score? So here I had done some 85, I had written. Here I had done some 78, I had written. Something here I had written, I think, I don't remember now, 70 or 75 I had written. In the end, I almost scored all these marks. Here I scored 72. Here I scored 81. Here I scored 67. Here I scored 69. 289 out of 400. Group 2 CA final. This much I scored. That is only because of subconscious goal setting. Because whenever you look at that number, you feel, I have to achieve that, I have to achieve that. And remove that level, remove that 40 marks from your mind. If you are scoring for 40, then you're failing only 100%. If you're aiming for 50, you're failing only 100%. Because you need 15 all subjects. So your aim should not be that much. Your aim should be, if I study to the best of my level, ability, how much will I score? That should be your goal. That should be your goal here. Understanding? Here. Okay. Foundation result is not a reflection of your intelligence, is not a reflection of your whether you can become a CA or whether you cannot become a CA. It is not a reflection on that. But yes, it is a reflection on your discipline, how you have carried out the work, how you have done the work. It is definitely a reflection on that. So if it is low, then you have to improve on it. But it is definitely not a reflection of your intelligence. So don't say that, oh, I'm less intelligent, I cannot become a CA. No. There are so many people who have taken foundation. I know a friend of mine who took 6 attempts in CPT. Earlier it was CPT. CPT was an easier exam than foundation also. All MCQs. He took 6 attempts. Inter he cleared first attempt, finally cleared first attempt. Became a CA. So it's not a reflection on your intelligence. You will become a CA. Just that the roadblock has come, now you have to cross the roadblock. Take it as that and ensure that you are improving your own normal personal life systems you're changing. And even you know, more than me, even you know what mistakes, like how he told honestly, I was on the phone. It was very brave of admitting. Like everybody has that issue. Some or the other issue, everybody has. Everybody knows what mistakes they have made. Sometimes you had to study, but you skipped that. Maybe you had gone out with your friends. Sometimes there was something on TV. You must be busy watching that. You had to study at that time. Everybody is guilty here of doing something wrong. Everybody knows. Otherwise, you will not get low marks. If you have studied in a perfect manner, everybody is guilty. Does that you have to tell yourself, now okay, I have to improve now. How should I improve now? Then let's go ahead with it. Easy, clear. Okay. So don't worry, any issue is there, get back to me, no problem. I'm here in Bangalore till 16th of Feb. So if you want to come and talk to me one-on-one, come Monday. Come to Bangalore, come to the office at around 1 o'clock, you come, no issues. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And if you have any issues that you want to discuss with me, 1 o'clock I'll be available here. Openly you can discuss with me, no issue. There will be no student in the class, we'll be talking like this only. Okay, and I'll be teaching on this classroom only. So you can come here and discuss with me, no issues. Okay, I wish you all the best. I trust that this session has helped you, and you will take outputs out of it and you will apply it in your study. Easy. Like correct. So every day, whatever you study, you have to write it down and you have to follow. You have to keep on doing that. And every student will have a different procedure to go for it. Understanding? So do it. If there's any issue, I'm there for you. Okay? Take care. See you. Take care. Go. Yeah, take no.